Hi, welcome to SBR Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. It's the conference championships in the NFL playoffs, and we are talking with Doug Upstone, professional handicapper, SBR contributor, who's had a documented great record in our videos long-term in the NFL. And this is our second segment that we're going to cover this week. Normally it'd be called false favorites and top dogs. And Doug Upstone's going to give us two more picks covering the conference championship games. Doug Upstone, what would you like to discuss with us?
Let's go with a false favorite right off the top, Peter, and I think that is going to be the New England Patriots at a mile high. Now, the one thing I can't get over this game is that they're favored by 3 points. Now, when they met 8 weeks ago, New England was a 2.5-point favorite in the same location, except Brock Osweiler was the quarterback, and Denver won 30-24. That just throws me off a little bit. I'm first to agree that Peyton Manning is certainly not the quarterback that he used to be, but is he actually worse than Brock Osweiler at this point? Boy, that's a hard one for me to comprehend. Now, New England did not run the ball at all in the last matchup, 16 times for 39 yards. And last week, they only ran for 38 yards on 14 attempts. Now, part of this in both cases was by design because they are a throwing team. They don't have a running back, or I should say a feature running back that they can use. But if all you have to do is throw the ball, that seems to be a problem. And they're not going to run much against Denver because Denver led the NFL in rushes and yards per attempt allowed at 3.3. Now, as I mentioned, throwing the ball, New England can do that. And this year, when Tom Brady has thrown it 40 or more times, Peter, they're 3-3-1 against the spread, but just 1-3 in their last 4. Now, that to me sort of plays into Denver's hands because they are 3-1-2 against the number versus teams that chuck the ball 39 or more times this season. As long as Peyton Manning doesn't turn the ball over, I think Denver has a real shot to cover this one.
Wow, very thorough analysis, Doug Upstone. This game, when it opened, scared the crap out of me. There's no way I was touching it any which way. But now hearing your analysis and also combining that with analysis of another professional handicapper that I previewed the game with who also liked Denver, maybe Denver +3 might be a good bet. And, who knows? Maybe it'll get up to 3.5 at some places, in which case it might be a great bet. Interesting analysis, Doug Upstone. What's your second pick for us in this segment this week?
Well, I'm going to go with a top dog, Peter. And in this case, though, the dog is going to go against what the public is doing on the total in the New England and Denver game. Now, over 60%, in checking some different websites, over 60% of the bettors are on the over at 44.5. And I don't think it's going to go that way, and here's why. Denver's game plan, of course, is going to be able to run the ball, even though they are, fairly pedestrian when it comes to that at 107 yards a game and 4.2 yards per carry. I still think they have to go with that game plan because they're not going to beat New England having Manning throwing the ball 40 times. So I think that's what they're going to do. The idea, of course, is to shorten the game, keep Tom Brady on the sidelines, and I think they can have some success because if you've been following the injury reports, Peter, the New England front seven defensively has 5 guys with significant injuries. Now they're likely to play, but still they're really beat up. Now, as you heard last week, Denver has one touchdown in their last 27 playoff drives. So they certainly do not look like a team that's going to score much. Plus, we have 2 top 10 scoring defenses in this game. And at this point, the unknown element of the weather in Denver, I think this certainly looks like an undercall to me, Peter.
Man, big-time analysis from a big-time capper and Doug Upstone for these big-time games. The other guy I previewed this game with also liked the under. I think I'm convinced. I think that Denver +3 and the under might both be solid plays this week. Not huge value, but solid value. Doug Upstone, as always, thanks so much.
Thank you, Peter.